Hello, this is Sandy from Stonebringer. I'm sitting here with Glenn Hughes from Black Country Communion. Hello Glenn, how are you?
Good, Philip, and you?
Oh, thanks, fine too. Okay, you're an artist with a quite high output since the year one, but especially in the last 15 years the number of new releases featuring Glenn Hughes is really amazing. That's quite exceptional by comparison to other musicians of your generation, not to mention the height of the records. Where do you get your inspiration from?
It really is about being true to the art and about being essentially wanting to do a lot of work. I just think a number of years ago that I wasn't in the shape I am today, and I come from a generation of artists from the 60s and 70s that wrote a lot of music. So what's happened the last 15 years, if you will, that I've been in tune with my muse to write more music and to produce more music. So that's the key, I think.
Okay. You started your career about 1969 with the first trapeze record. On the actual Black Country Communion album, the debut album, you did a cover of the classic Medusa. Would you say that the wheel has come to full circle?
It has, and the reason we did Medusa is because I played that song with John Bonham in '71 a lot. He used to come and play with trapeze in between Led Zeppelin shows, and John was a dear friend of mine. I've known Jason since he was a baby, and so Joe suggested and Kevin suggested we re-record Medusa, partly because of the Bonham connection, but also it's very classic rock, and the first album from Black Country we wanted a cover song, and they suggested Medusa. I didn't suggest it, but it was nice to do this version.
Okay. 2010 saw the debut album of Black Country Communion. The next studio record too is going to be released in June this year. You seem to be in a hurry. What are your goals for the future?
You know, we want to make music now for rock fans. We believe we have a definite fan base of hard rock and classic rock fans, that we are the only band right now making this kind of music. True, real hard rock music that I've said before that I've been in Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, and you know, Jason, Dad, and the Zeppelin. It was kind of like, you know, we need to make music for the demographic of people that understand this kind of music. So when Joe and I got together, we knew we were going to make classic rock music.
Yes, the release of the second album is followed by 6 shows in Germany. Yes. And you always play a concert in Vienna's famous opera. Have you ever played in such a comparable location?
Well, I played in the Albert Hall in London, and I've played in other opera houses in England. But to play in the Stadtopera House in Vienna, it will be as important as playing the Albert Hall for me, because I love this city of Vienna. I think it's insanely beautiful. I feel spiritually connected to this beautiful, beautiful city. So for me personally, on behalf of the band, we're really, really looking forward to playing this venue for rock fans. So we're the first band to ever play in this insanely beautiful concert venue. So we will bring in rock and roll into that place.
Great. On the actual record, or on the next record, on the second record, Joe is also doing some lead vocals again. For example, on the Battle of Hadrian's Wall. Why don't you split the lead vocals 50-50 or 60-50? 60-40?
It wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be this way. I wrote. This is the truth, and this is the first time I've said this. I wrote specifically for Joe to sing some of my songs. But when we got in the studio, Kevin, I started. For instance, "Smokestack Woman" was supposed to be split, and I started to sing, and Kevin says, "Oh no, you got to sing this," you know. And then the next song, "Oh no, you got to sing this." You just. Kevin wanted my voice in this particular. I wanted to split more vocals. I personally want to have Joe singing more. It wasn't meant to be on this album, but for all Joe fans, you need to know this. I love his voice, and I want to hear more Joe. So don't shoot me. It's Kevin's idea.
All right. I heard that Joe refused it to play as a trio. Can you tell me why?
We started out as a trio. Then Joe wanted to bring another player in. That's why we brought Derek in, you know. Joe played in a trio 10 years ago when he was a solo artist, and then he brought a keyboard player in. So Kevin suggested Derek, so that's when we brought Derek in.
Okay. You know, you're outstanding for your vocal range. How do you keep your voice in shape after all the years?
Very simple. A lot of sleep, no dairy, not a lot of milk, and not a lot of cheese. Yoga breathing exercises, warm up lessons, and no smoking, of course, drinking, and a connection with the higher power. That I don't really have fear when I'm singing. I think I'm very fearful of things that I can't control. But one thing I can control is this ability to sing. It's a gift. It's not really me singing, it's coming from another place. So I've been given this gift freely, a channel to something greater than me. So I'm just the messenger. I'm just the guy that's delivering a message through something greater than me. Trust me, I'm not God. I'm not even attempt to be God, but God is everything.
Everybody knows the vocalist Glenn Hughes. Are you satisfied with the awareness of the bass player Glenn Hughes?
My manager says that if I wasn't such a great singer, people would pay attention to my bass playing. I learned from the greatest. Jack Bruce is a dear friend. I learned from Paul McCartney. I learned from James Jamerson in Detroit. And I learned from great master Stanley Clarke, another dear friend. I've learned from great friends that have spent time with me and shown me the instrument. I'm a very good student. I will be a student till I die. I shall never say, I'm completely the artist, I'm done now. I shall be doing this, being a student, till they put me away in the earth.
The Hughes Thrall album is one of those legendary insider's tips. On HughesThrall.com, you stated that you've put the second album behind in June 2010.
I had to do it.
Do you have further news for the fans out there?
And this is the truth. In 1999, I flew to New York to work with Pat. And this is when I was working with Kevin too. We recorded 7 songs, written in 1 week in the studio, in the Hit Factory in New York. Great songs. Then Pat moved to Las Vegas in 2004. I went to Las Vegas and recorded 3 more songs. I attempted to work with him again in 2007 and 2008, and we couldn't get together. I couldn't get him on the phone. I couldn't get him to commit. So I'm the one that's always doing interviews around the world, and people ask me every time, what about Hughes Thrall 2? And I got so tired of telling, well, it's coming, and it's not coming because I can't get Pat to complete it. I can't. I've tried. If I was producing it, if I had let's just say the recordings, the digital recordings, I would probably finish it. But I can't, because he has it all. I love him, but I can't finish it because he can't finish it. I don't know why. It's sad, but it's been now 12 years since we started, so I'm not sure if the songs are ready for today's market.
Our website, Stonebringer.at, is named after Deep Purple's legendary album. How did you get such a cool album title?
You know, this is Coverdale. I think he came up with the Stonebringer lyric, and I think it's brilliant. I like David's lyrics in Deep Purple more so than in Whitesnake. I think his lyrics are more fictional. But it's a great song, and I'm glad you chose this to be your name of your online mag.
Sounds really cool. Stonebringer, the Austrian heavy sign. This year, it's almost 35 years that Tommy Bolin passed away. What do you think? What would he do today if he was still alive?
I'm not sure if Tommy would be playing electric guitar or some kind of other instrument. Then again, he was such a gypsy and nomad. He was a guy that was loved to travel, and he loved Middle Eastern music. He loved Peruvian music. He loved Brazilian music. I'm not sure what he would have done. He was a genius that died way too soon.
Let's go back to the Black Country Communion. The second album reminds me more on Deep Purple than the first one. I think some kind of the songs are really kind of proto heavy metal. Would you agree?
Yeah. With the first album being so successful, we wanted to establish ourselves as a rock fan base that metal fans will also understand, because it's dark. The lyrics, my lyrics on the album are very dark, and there's not so much flowery stuff on this album. It's more about death or grief or being alone. And rock fans, there's a song called The Outsider, and rock fans feel that they are the outsiders. They feel that they are sometimes the unwanted. And this album is definitely an anthemic album for rock fans. So I wanted to write something that was dark and vicious and victorious. So I'm really happy with my lyrics on this one.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thanks for the interview, and wish you the best.
On July the 16th at the State Opera House, Black Country Communion are coming to rock the very foundations of this city. We hope you all enjoyed this show, and a very successful time for all rock fans in this wonderful country. May God bless you all.